So I'm just walking back from the BAFTA ceremony right now. It just finished a few moments ago. It was a lot of fun. I managed to ask the team of Lady Macbeth a question on the red carpet, which was good. I've got a lot of footage of a lot of famous people walking past me, a lot of the nominees, award winners. Gary Oldman gave a really great and touching speech, as did Ridley Scott, who was awarded the BAFTA Fellowship.
Hello and welcome to iTom with me, Tom, the show that dives into pop cultural happenings and brings you the facts straight up. In this week's episode, I went to the BAFTA Film Awards at the Royal Albert Hall, the biggest night in British film and then some, packed to the rafters with film stars and clowns. And yes, I was there too, squeezed into the blogger's pen, hoping to catch a quick interview or two with a few of the presenters and nominees. But I'm afraid I managed to get just the one. But it was with the makers of Lady Macbeth, director William Oldroyd, screenwriter Alice Birch and producer Froden Cronin O'Reilly. And they were nominated for Outstanding British Film and Outstanding British Debut. And I was super pumped to talk to them, having just reviewed Lady Macbeth in my last video. So I'll be dropping that footage a little later on. Right now it's time to get hype. Daniel Clough won the E! Rising Star Award. And I called it. And he gave a funny and emotional acceptance speech dedicated to his mum. And judging by the thunderous applause as he walked off stage, he's going to be fully booked with leading man roles till 2030. So, a big finger gun salute to Daniel, and fingers crossed he hits the awards double this year and takes home the leading man Oscar figured out. I have a feeling though the Golden Guy is probably going to go to Gary Oldman for his BAFTA award winning performance as Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour. It's his year. Now, I got suited and booted for the red carpet, and here's a pic of me tucked out at the event. And what was I wearing? Well, I had an off-the-peg black tie suit from my local Moss Bros, and it was a sharp and snug fit. And I'd just like to shout out the shop staff, they're all very helpful. Also, I hooked myself up with a new iPhone 8 and downloaded Filmic Pro 6, and I managed to capture this exclusive, never-before-seen footage of grasshoppers, film stars and directors all walking right past me into the Albert Hall. So somewhere in the middle of that thick and creamy A-lister soup, my big moment had arrived to crush my first and only red carpet interview of the night, as a PR assistant ushered over the creative team of Lady Macbeth. And it's fair to say I struggled my way through it a bit. I'm still new at this whole red carpet thing, and I find it a bit cringe shouting questions to celebrities who'd rather be at the bar working on their second dirty martini. Anyway, William, Alice and I'm sorry for butchering your name. So here's what they had to say about their film.
I mean, I think all of us really like period films, but there's something about them that sometimes feels like the people aren't that real, or there's a bit of a distance. And I think we felt interested in just twisting the genre a bit, maybe making it a thriller and having this extraordinary woman at the middle of it. An adaptation from a Russian novella by Leskov, and the kind of class difference and the sort of real massive difference in terms of power and control and gender just felt authentic. And I think it's always, you know, you want to start with the highest stakes as possible, and if she's miserable and locked in a house and, you know, angry, then that's an interesting place to start a story, I think.
When we were there, it felt like there was an absence of sound that was very useful, and it also helped build up this oppressive world that Catherine lived in. You know, if there wasn't the sound of nature or birds or children or wind, but ultimately we created a sort of vacuum that she existed in. So then we could really focus in on breath, and then we could bring the audience closer to her character.
Sadly, they didn't take home any awards that night. But I have no doubt in the near future, all of them will win a prestigious film statue in the near future. And guess what? After the red carpet was rolled up, they let me inside to watch the ceremony live. And yes, I was up in the gods with my knees almost popping out of their sockets as Joanna Lumley took the stage to get a Stephen Fry on, and she lightly roasted the audience of elite little thespians all night long. And you probably know by now that 3 Billboards took home all the major awards, so a big congratulations to them. And Martin, I'm free anytime. Just give me a text, bro. But what you don't know are my 3 big rambling takeaways from the night. Number 1. So I only managed to get the 1 interview, and it's completely my fault, really. I was in completely the wrong position. I was stood in the sort of middle towards the back of the press pen, when I should have been in the corner closest to the red carpet when the celebrities were coming off. If I'd been there, then I might have been able to catch some more interviews from there, because there was our competition was there, and he was like crushing it, getting lots of interviews, all this sort of stuff. There was another guy there as well, so if I'd been next to them, I could have got some of those sort of interviews, captured some more interviews and stuff. But the only problem with that is that we all would have basically had the same footage, and we wouldn't have been making a unique sort of personal connection with the people that were walking past. So that's my main aim. I want to ask them an interesting question and get something from it that perhaps some of those other sites didn't get. Number 2, Jennifer Lawrence is really, really beautiful when you see her in real life. And that's not to say that she's not beautiful on screen, but when you get close to her, or as close as I was, which is, a couple of meters away in the press pen, there's a sort of like a magnetism to her that sort of like draws you in. You want to look at her, you want to sort of like watch her. No creep, but it is an interesting sort of fascinating thing that there's certain sort of actresses and actors, I should say as well, that you're sort of in some way sort of drawn to, subconsciously sort of drawn to, that you want to watch. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. 3. The most striking thing about going to the BAFTAs is just how small the British film industry is. If you think about it, all the key players, and there's only a handful of them, are sat at the very front of the audience. And next to them there's their sort of friends and family, next to them is probably agents, and then behind them is sort of people who work behind the scenes in the British industry. And it's definitely like a relationships business, because the thing that sort of stuck out to me the most was when Martin McDonagh was giving his speech, and he was sort of talking about 3 Billboards. He mentioned Sam Rockwell and saying that he was his creative muse and he wanted to work with him for a 4th time. And that's kind of like how the British film industry works. It's a relationship business. So that's worthwhile thinking about if you're trying to break in, that it's forming those relationships with people that are basically gonna further your career. So there you have it, the BAFTA Film Awards 2018, a night of winners and losers, but really they're all winners sitting in that room. So why not tell me what you think in the comments below, or you can @me at The Sampling on Twitter, and why not smash that like button if you've enjoyed this video. This has been iTom, I've been Tom, and I'll catch up with you next episode.